Until last week, very few people knew who Tahir Mamman was. It was fitting, therefore, that he announced himself in a way symptomatic of this government. The minister announced during his interview with Seun Okinbaloye on Sunday Politics that students under the age of 18 will not be allowed to sit the West African Examination Council (WAEC), National Examination Council (NECO), and the Joint Admissions Matriculation Board exams. According to the minister, this policy is not new. It is inbuilt in the 6334 or the modified 934 system of education that started in 1983. Students not yet 18 will not be allowed to write the three major exams into tertiary education, that is WAEC, NECO, and JAMB. Third, that students will not be able to write these exams if they have not adhered to the 6334 structure. The objective of this directive is simple. The minister, and by extension the government, seeks to prevent immature students gaining admissions into Nigerian universities. However, by simply saying the implementation will commence next year does not solve the problem. Indeed, it is symptomatic of the way Hamana serious policy issues have been handled under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are many examples, including the fuel subsidy removal, the levy of $10,000 on companies with foreign directors, the change of the national anthem, the abandoned 5% digital levy, the ongoing 70% on banks windfall profit on exchange rate transactions, and the recent change in the Central Bank of Nigeria Act. Back to the minister's announcement. It is possible for a student to have gone through the entire system and not be 18 years old. So, to fix the problem requires going back to the foundation. But that requires hard work and diligence that our policymakers are not known for. The policy affects everyone and applies to everyone from primary 1 to SS3 if they are not at the required age to reach 18 when they write those exams. Since last week, I have checked the ministry's website, waited to see if a detailed policy document or guidelines will be released, and I have not seen one. I suppose the minister thinks that he has announced it and that is the end. But I'm not the only one who thinks it is not as simple as that. Dr. Mike Enel, the Secretary General of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, thinks the same, as interviewed in the Tribune and Punch. If schools and parents only require a year to prepare for this directive, does the minister know how many students will be affected next year? Does the minister have a plan for those students that will be affected, or they don't matter? Is the minister aware that a significant number of students in private schools will write other forms of exams and this further annihilates them? Is the minister aware that we have near complete polarized education where majority of private school students are trained with British and US curriculum and the students are prepared for universities abroad? In conclusion, some have argued that underage children in university is one of the problems. I agree. But the way you judge a serious policymaker is how he or she focuses on what everyone believes are the top 3 problems. In Nigeria today, poor quality education is number 1, and by extension, poor skills. Second, there are over 20 million children that are out of school. Third, there are extensive poor teaching and learning resources across the country. So, why the Honorable Minister is pursuing the small trophy of ensuring our universities only admit students above 18 years old, I do not know of any credible plan for the over 20 million that are out of school. In conclusion, I do not believe anyone less than 18 years old should be in the university, except in special circumstances. But this will not work. It will not work because it is rash, ill-thought, and ill-prepared. Policies for and that affect over 200 million people should be thorough, rigorous, and comprehensive. If we have to solve problems and not just symptoms, our policymakers should not be lazy, distracted, and pedestrian to think and show us how the policies will work in practice. For more of my thoughts, please visit tb.africa. I thank you.